Hey, man. Junior, JD, what is cracking, my guys? We haven't talked in a couple of NFL weekends. How you feeling despite your picks? I know some of you feeling better than others, but what's going on, man? How's it going? How's the ice? How's the weather?
Yeah, JD, you were outpowered for a few days. Let me know how you doing, man.
Yeah, we finally got power. We were without power for 5 days, and thank God we were, can afford to stay in a nice hotel for those 5 nights. But other than that,
how many stars, bro? How many stars?
We stayed at the Hyatt, solid hotel.
Okay, there you
and
go.
It wasn't bad as a family,
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the U.S. was frozen last week, so I consider myself lucky. We didn't have power go out. We didn't go out, so we were chilling. We were hunkered down. Making soups and stews. You know what I'm saying? That cold weather food. So,
ooh, yeah, bro. Did they cancel schools?
Almost all week.
Yeah, same, man. So anyway, hey, so we've had some predictions, and some of us like to have fun with predictions. Like to take risks, and say it would be cool if this happened, and I picked it because then I could talk trash. And then others just like to pick front runners. So last week, JD went 4-2 in his picks for Wild Card Weekend. Yours truly went 3-3, and Junior, he went 2-4. I don't know if it was because he was taking risks or if he's just bad at predicting things. Then we just wrapped up games today. JD picked all the front runners. He went 4-0. I went 3-1. June went 2-2. Last week already happened. Let's talk about today, man. What are your guys' thoughts on that early game with the Lions and the Bucks? I picked the Bucks. I thought Bake would pull something out. Having them be in the game in the fourth quarter was enough for me to feel good about my pick, despite them not winning, because I went out on a limb, like only a couple of us do on this podcast. But how'd you guys feel about that?
Can we just be happy for competitive NFL games? Can we just give a shout out to competitive NFL games? Give a round of applause. That wild card was not entertaining.
Let me hit a sound effect.
Was not entertaining at all. I'm just happy to have some close games. And for the Bucks, I'll give credit to the Bucks. They hung in there. I did not think it was going to be a game like that. Though Detroit does kind of like to mess around in these close games for some reason. But nah, I didn't think Baker had it in him. Turns out Baker did not have it in him. And the Bucks, they were lucky to get there. They played hard, but it looks like it's the Lions' year to maybe make some waves.
JD,
I agree.
Go ahead and preach from the mountaintop.
No, these games were really it was really predictable. The Packers going into 49, into whatever they call it, Levi Stadium, and winning. But about the Detroit game, Junior, I will agree. Make it competitive. Baker and those guys, they played, like Rasheed Wallace says, both teams played hard. Mm-hmm. And it came down to a one-possession game, and that's all we can ask for as fans. Mike Evans is really good still, guys. And he's played with good quarterbacks and not so good quarterbacks. And the guy, that throw in the fourth quarter that Baker threw to him, he threw a high, deep post, and Baker put some mustard on that ball, and Mike came down with it. But it came down to the end, and Detroit got the stop they needed to.
Or Baker choked.
I want to. Sometimes defense, your defense plays good, and they came up when they needed to.
Okay,
what you think, Chris?
Yeah, I like I said, I was happy that the Bucks were in it. So I had a puncher's chance. It was one of those ones where, I'm always running around with the kids and doing a bunch of stuff on Sundays and Saturdays, but I always have the game on, and I will, if I'm not doing anything, I'll be watching it. And it was one of those ones where it was like, I'll do that later. I'm going to keep watching this, and it wasn't until the very end where it was like, okay, I'm going to go, what do I have to do before I got to do the next thing or whatever. and so it was it sucked me in as a fan of athletic competition. So I was happy with the game. My prediction didn't go as well, but I'm not a sore loser, so it's all good. But that was a nice little warm up for what we had going on just a couple hours ago. Part 3 of Patrick Mahomes versus the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. And it was a back and forth battle, but I honestly never felt like I picked the Chiefs, and I never felt like my pick was threatened the entire game. The Buffalo had the lead at certain times, but you got Patrick Mahomes. It's like having Kobe. It's like having MJ. It's like having LeBron. Like, you're not going to lose, Like yesterday when the Packers and the Niners were playing, we were texting, and I was just like, the Niners are going to win. Like, if they're going to win, they're going to pull it out. It's what they do. It's their brand. So the final score, the back and forth, the lead changes and everything, still it still didn't feel as close as it looked. What did you guys think?
JD, let me hear it.
Well, I really thought that fumble by Mecole Hardman going into the end zone was kind of the sign of like, all right, what does Bill Belichick say? He does not like his guys reaching the ball out towards the pylon, and Mecole Hardman went down and stuck the ball out. Mr. Beaver, Jordan Poyer came through and knocked it out. And that's headsy football right there. And I thought that play was going to lead Buffalo into, the game. The prior possession, they go for it on 4th down. Mr. Hero, DeMar Hamlin, came
you
up
said
short.
Mr. Hero.
Kansas City gets the ball, they come down and they fumble. So it was like, oh, that's one of these games where Josh Allen's going to get the ball and they come down and they these famous words, wide right. And
Haunting.
That's what happened. And
I'm glad, JD, I'm proud of me and you for not leading with the kicker, being to blame for all this. I know Junior's not going to, so I'm proud of him too. But I just wanted to put that out there. Like, that's why we're a top shelf podcast, because we don't just say the normal things that everyone's going to say. There's a lot behind the curtain.
Are
Junior,
we ready?
tell
are
us
we
about
ready
the game.
to say that Josh Allen just doesn't have that in him, or are we just going to go along the lines of, well, Patrick Mahomes is the guy, so can't really expect Josh Allen to beat Patrick Mahomes, even though he's had 3 chances and been at home. Is it time to start talking about Josh Allen as maybe just an underachieving at this point in his career for what people say that he is, the talent that he is, achieved good, but he just doesn't seem to have that lock in, that Kobe mentality to be able to finish a team.
I got you. I got something for you. Okay, hey, Jatano, I want to hear what you have to say, but this hit me, and I want to hear if it hits you guys too. All right. I think Josh Allen is to Peyton Manning what Patrick Mahomes is to Tom Brady. He's just never going. He's going to always. There's a logjam in the AFC at those teams, and he's just always going to come up short. He's putting up the stats. Everything looks right. I'm not saying he's as good as Peyton Manning. I'm just saying in terms of supremacy and domination of the conference, he's just kind of always going to be in second place until something shuffles. That's my take. Jatana, what's your take on just everything there?
I just want to just ask you a question then real quick about the Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning, if I'm corrected, does have 2 Super Bowls, 2 different teams.
No, yeah,
I'm just
listen to me.
I get it, but
I'm saying before there was a
Josh
shakeup,
Allen is like more like Dan Marino,
he didn't get past. He couldn't.
You know what I mean?
He couldn't win a
Because
Super Bowl.
Peyton won.
When all is said and done, Josh Allen could have
to
2
give
Super
credit
Bowls.
that, he did win, and like I guess, yeah, when you're that good and you play Tom Brady and you lose a lot, but he got his licks in too. So I don't like the Peyton Manning comparison, because Peyton won.
I'm saying Josh Allen's career is not over though. He's got a lot left to go So in terms of just that logjam and not being able to win right now, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but let's just say,
But where's the log
in
jam?
2000,
There's only
let's just
Patrick
hold on.
Mahomes.
Exactly, and that's the AFC. He's not, and that was the same with the Colts and the Patriots, bro. Like, all I'm saying is, in terms of dominance and the GOATs right now of the quarterback position in the AFC, it's Patrick Mahomes and everybody else. And right now, we can't. I'm just saying we got to grade Josh Allen on a curve. And wait till his career's over. I'm just saying you can't. I'm not comparing him to Peyton Manning. I was just comparing the logjam of there is a better player on a better team that you're never going to beat right now. Maybe you switch teams. Maybe some things happen. There was an injury year. Who knows? But Peyton did get his wins, but. One of them had to come with going to the NFC, right?
Look, I think Josh Allen, he's got to be able to win some of these home playoff games. I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes or not. He's had 2 against Mahomes. Can't win one. I'm gonna.
No, this is the third.
That was the third trilogy, dog.
At Buffalo, though, right? I thought
the first
the
one
first
in
one
Buffalo.
Okay, well.
And the only other time Mahomes played there was no fans, so everyone was
yeah, that's right. And okay, but
that was regular
still,
season.
Though, I'll give him one more chance. If he gets another home game against Mahomes and can't finish it, then I'm gonna start judging Josh a little bit and just say he's not that.
But okay, real quick though. But he lost to Joe Burrow last year at home.
Joe Burrow's nice though, man.
Oh, I'm just saying, like Josh Allen is who he is. All right, he's got the booty pucker effect on some of these throws and the things that he does, and we just have to give a little bit of credit to the Kansas City defense who played good. I'm not blaming the kicker at all. I'm putting everything on the quarterback and the coach. And that's 100.
That kicker shouldn't even have that opportunity. You know the history you have with kickers. You got Patrick Mahomes with almost 2 minutes left anyway, getting the ball. Like, come on. Yeah, I mean,
just like was that? Hold on, I'm mixing something up though. There was one of the games today. A team went for it on 4th and goal and scored. I think it was the first game. But it was like that was against conventional wisdom, and it worked out.
Yeah, so. I mean, the coach would have got roasted for going for it. It was like 3rd and 9, right? 4th and 9 if they didn't get it. But at the same time, if your kicker misses a field goal, like none of this matters anyway. And I feel like they give Mahomes back the ball with that much time, it doesn't matter either. So yeah, hindsight's 20/20. But I would have thought real hard about going for that 4th down.
Well,
hey, all right, let's look ahead then. All right, next week, who you got? Lions, Niners, JD.
Look, I'm going to pick the 49ers because that's conventional wisdom, but that's who I'm going to put down on paper. But I'm going to be rooting for Detroit so we get some different teams in the Super Bowl. I can name it off the top of my head. But there's, a countless amount of organizations.
You can't pick the team you're not going to root for, bro. That ain't how it works. You just pick both teams. You're going to root for the team that wins, or you're going to claim the winner. That's a Chris style pick. I like your style, my guy.
Hey, it's you know what I'm saying? You can keep the receipt all you want. I'm not going to come back and do I told you so.
Not mad at you.
Not
mad
I'm
at
saying,
you. You learn well.
I'm just saying that I'm rooting for a different team to be in the Super Bowl who hasn't been in the Super Bowl yet, is what I'm saying. And I think there'll be a good story, but chalk is chalk, and I think the 49, it's going to be a toss-up. Who knows if Debo plays?
Unlikely, I feel like. Joe. I mean, it's playoffs, so people, NFL players especially, they'll take that needle, they'll do whatever they can to at least get on the field, but he already missed a couple of weeks with that same shoulder, so we'll see, but I'm with you, JD. I'm over the 49ers. And I know they haven't even won a Super Bowl. I'm just kind of over them. I'm over Shanahan and the looks on his face, and he just looks like a dude I just wouldn't want to talk to or hang out with, man. I'm over him. And I really hope Detroit wins because of Detroit, the city. I feel like they're like my kind of like lost brethren being a Raiders fan, and just how much dysfunction both of our franchises have seen over the last 20 years. I would love to see the city of Detroit get to that Super Bowl and win it, and give Goff a little redemption. I mean, not a little. That would give Goff so much redemption going to the ship and winning it this time with a different team when he got outcast there by the Rams. So okay, if I'm gonna pick, I'm picking the Lions. I'm not gonna sit on the fence. I'm picking the Lions. I'm not gonna sit on the fence. I'm picking them. They got the run game. They got just the team cohesion right now. They're all on the same page, and I think that gives them a good shot to win. I don't care if it's in San Francisco.
Before you go, Chris, since Junior said his pick, I want to ask him a question real quick because I put this in the pre-show. Does this rub all the shine off of the 49ers? The fact that you just lost to Jared Goff, you've had the number 1 seed, you've lost.
You're saying if.
Yeah, I'm saying, and you've lost in 2 Super Bowls in the last 10 years. What does this say? Shanahan couldn't close the deal 28-3 as the offensive coordinator against the New England Patriots. They were what, 30? 0-30.
It doesn't mean nothing, dog.
Points.
No, you're there though.
What
you're
does it
there.
say about the 49ers?
Bro, you're there. All you have to, if you want to look at a team that has not lived up to expectations, that has a national brand in the NFC, the Cowboys will take that heat, bro. The Niners are not the team that is coming up short. They made it to the Super Bowl, and if they do beat the Lions, they will make it to another Super Bowl.
I think the difference...
sorry, you asked that to Junior, but I
think the difference there, Chris, is that people don't actually really expect the Cowboys to do much. I mean, I think there's always, like, hope from Cowboys fans, but, like...
Come on.
This year, though.
I don't think people ever really take them seriously, man. And the 49ers are the darlings
49ers.
of the media. Like, everybody loves the Niners, and everybody, you know...
It's because they have a white running back.
Hey, look...
It's the whiteness, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
He's freaking good. So like he's a I don't care what color he is, man. McCaffrey run that ball. But
it's the Purdy being the low draft pick.
I'm not saying this is a must win, but if they don't win here, yes, I think there are
They blow it up.
I think there are legitimate questions about whether or not Kyle Shanahan's system can take you to the Super Bowl and win it. I think those are legitimate questions.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that's fair because you have all the working.
Yes, but
first year quarterback on a rookie salary.
Exactly, and that is what I think. That is the ace up his sleeve. If anyone says your system is not working, you have everything. No, you don't. You got Garoppolo the last time you went. You got this bum Purdy that is glorified because he's on a good team and a good system. I don't think you blow it up, man. I am boldly taking a stand against you biased, Raider-loving, Niner-hating fans.
There's some truth there to that. But also, hey, Shanahan picked the quarterback. So he picked Purdy. Like, if Purdy's not the guy to win it, that should be on Shanahan too then.
Froze up.
And one last thing about Detroit. See these colors? That's why, you know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for Detroit. You know, just for that merit. You know what I mean?
You're wearing a gray shirt with some blue on it, bro. If you really were rooting for them, put on a Detroit Lions shirt.
Hey, man, this is for the OPC, all right? 4-time champion.
I'm just messing with you.
Here.
I know exactly what that is. I know. I see the trophy closer to you this week. I see the shirt. I know exactly what's going on, JB. Winners win, baby. And then they tell people about it.
Yeah, I'm so
Hey,
I know you guys didn't see this, but when Baker got intercepted in the game, the dudes from Detroit took the ball and gave it back to Baker.
The disrespect.
Hey, I love that. And you know what? Baker probably loves that too because he's a fighter, bro. He's a gamer. For the record, I don't got nothing else to say other than whatever thing everybody else been saying. I'm picking Niners. All right, Ravens, Chiefs in a real actual question of who's going to win. That's a toss-up. I'll do snake. We'll go snake, okay? I pick last. I'll pick first now.
Yeah. Let me hear.
Chiefs. You know why? They're the kings of the AFC. until someone else says so. That's it. That's it. You know, it's great. I am happy for Lamar Jackson. I'm happy for the Ravens. I'm happy he got that, that 12-week ceiling, reputation off his back. He got he got his playoff win. But no, he's Donovan McNabb.
It's called Lamar Jackson, Donovan McNabb?
Let's go. There's hot takes around here, bro. It's hot takes. I don't go with front runners. I love Lamar Jackson, but I'm gonna stick a hot take just for the sake of it.
But now I just gotta go back and say I never thought McNabb was that good. I mean, he was always okay to me. I never.
Is Lamar Jackson that good?
Lamar Jackson is easily better than Donovan McNabb. I would say. I mean, I don't even.
No, not if you put them in a vacuum next to each other and compare them for their eras within the league parity or lack of parity at the time, the competition they had at the time. I don't know, McNabb. Look at some of his numbers, dog. I might have to look at them now. I don't have any facts in front of me, but I guarantee McNabb is closer to Lamar Jackson numbers than you think. That was a nice little tip.
Hey, Junior, real quick though. Hey, here, hold on. This will tell me if hey, did you rock with the Eagles in Madden 04, 05?
I only rock with the Raiders.
Oh yeah, just throw that bomb to T.O.
I only rock with the Raiders, no matter how bad they were. I only play the Raiders.
Yeah, Junior never played Madden though. Junior only played college football. Junior never played Madden. Don't let him talk to you.
I only play the Raiders when I'm playing in Madden. That's always been the case. So no, I never play any other team. Raiders. No.
Okay.
But
respect. All right, who you got, Junior?
Man, I hate that the Chiefs are even like in the conversation for everything, man. But the stat today was that Patrick Mahomes has been a starting quarterback for 6 years, and every year he's made it to the AFC Championship game, and that just makes my stomach hurt as a Raiders fan. I hate it.
He's the king, dog.
But if
he's the king till he's not.
But Chiefs are gonna win. So that's
JD, please pick the Ravens. He's a front runner, so he's going to pick the Ravens. So go ahead and do what you do.
Because my Super Bowl prediction was 49ers and Chiefs.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but wait. Here's the thing though. I'm gonna retract that, because while I do actually think the Chiefs are gonna win, I'm picking the Ravens because of what Chris said, what Chris just said right now, disrespecting Lamar Jackson, comparing him to Donovan McNabb. I think he's going to hear this pod. He's going to be like, "Oh, I'm not having that," and they're gonna rise up.
Thank you. We need somebody we need a bad guy, right? Like I'll be the Joker.
Here's the thing for me, real quick. Patrick Mahomes has the pedigree. Andy Reid, John Harbaugh, 2 Super Bowl winning coaches. All right, where's the game at? It's in Baltimore, Chocolate City, baby. 2 black quarterbacks going at it. All right. Yeah, black. All right. But Patrick Mahomes is that dude, and it's kind of like Tom Brady. I'm not picking against Tom Brady. I'm not picking against MJ. I'm not. And the only reason, you know why? Is because why would you? That's fool's gold right there. And I think Lamar Jackson, as good as he is, he's still a lot of fool's gold. I don't believe in them as a team. All right?
Okay, but we had the conversation about Josh Allen. Okay, so let's bring Lamar into this conversation now. He hasn't even. Okay. Now, injury is more so his problem. Is that he hasn't had as many chances. Yeah. So it's not exactly apples to apples. But Lamar has to win this game if he wants to be considered.
He sure does.
That quarterback, really. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna. Even if he wins, I don't think anyone's gonna say Lamar's better than Patrick Mahomes. But if he wins this game,
he'll be in the conversation.
It might be a start of a rivalry. We thought the rivalry was going to be with Allen, but Allen can't win a damn game. What if the rivalry is really going to be with Lamar going forward? And I'd love to see that start.
No, it's Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes is the rivalry.
Yeah.
Joe got hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a worse Super Bowl matchup? The Ravens in Detroit, two working class cities going to go to Vegas and turn up for a couple days. Is that the worst matchup? What matchup does America
like that.
want? It's Kansas City and the 49ers. We get a rematch. Yeah. That's the rematch. I don't want to see that, but I think that's what's going to happen because I picked it. So, Scooby-Doo.
That'd be dope, bro, because I was at that first Super Bowl when they played just by accident, and I could flex a little bit. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
But hey, we've been spent 30 minutes on one bullet point, but it's hot. You know, it's what we're talking about. It's what we're doing.
We won't have the NFL in 2 and 3 more weeks, so we got to get it in now. It's gonna be dry.
You know, we're gonna replace it with, and it's gonna be college hoops. It's gonna be college hoops. We're gonna switch over to college hoops mode, NBA hoops. You know, maybe some recruiting, some off-season moves in the NFL. They still do NFL Live every day in the off-season, so there's stuff to talk about. JD, is there something you want to take?
Man, come on.
I mean, I was trying to tell my kids that the other day. They're like, huh? But anyway, JD, you had something you want to say about the Seahawks and Jody Allen, or no?
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure people know that, you know, when Paul Allen passed away, he put in his estate that his assets will be liquidated. And I saw this because I had to look this up. Because I heard this and I wasn't sure what it was, but a Seattle referendum from 1997 requires that 10% of the team's sale price to go to Washington State.
Oh, let's go!
If the team is sold within 25 years of the bond being issued. So that is why, since Paul Allen has passed, that the Seahawks have not been sold. And that
but that don't explain the Blazers.
May 21st, 2024. And
that's
think
a deep cut.
All these things are going to happen. Yeah, it's a deep cut. But I believe that's why there's we got rid of the coach. So now we're going to get a different coach and we're going to sell the team. We got rid of Pete. Pete's career, you know, is a woulda, shoulda, coulda. You know,
okay, JD, I'm gonna go with you on
Marshawn one more time.
Go with you on this ride. I'm gonna go with you on this ride, and I have a question for the conductor. Does Jody on May 22nd sell the Blazers and the Seahawks in a package deal?
I don't see why not. Who got that?
It's hard enough to find a group for one team, Chris. I mean, that would be pretty cool if they found a dual buyer, but I don't see that happening.
Uncle Phil.
What? But what about Bezos?
Is he interested?
Bezos busy chasing pussy, bro.
Is he interested?
Hear me out real quick about the Phil Knight. Phil Knight's not going to be around much longer, so I don't think that's a good buy.
People, it's his estate, though. It's his people. It's his legacy on the team.
I get it, but then now the team is still up for the same thing. So even though I'm not a Blazer fan, I see Phil Knight as just because he's the owner of Nike and he's one of the most wealthiest men around. But I just see that more as...
And he's a tastemaker.
He's going to own the team for a few more years, and now we have another head. Like you said, Junior...
But you would never own the team on the team. You would never own the team. But yeah, you're right. Okay, so it sounds nice.
I think Bezos is the right
root for, not something we would pick. Yeah. Okay.
Well, right. Hold on. I want to just add one more thing here.
Drop in one time.
At least for fans of the Seahawks, they're not moving even if they sell. Like, that team's not going anywhere. I don't think there's any risk of that. I mean, you could say that there's always potential risk of that when a team is sold, but I don't think we're in danger here of the.
There would be anarchy. Yeah. There would be anarchy. There's still salt in the wound from the Sonics around here. They have not adopted the Blazers. They have waited for an expansion team. There's no.
In a way, for the fans, I don't think this will be very impactful, at least. So I think that's a positive to take away from the whole situation.
One thing I'm going to take away is this little tidbit to some water coolers around the office this week, because I did not know that, and I'm going to drop some knowledge bombs like, hey, did you know? Yeah, you guys know May 21. That's why they fired Pete. That's why they fired Pete. I heard. You ever heard of this podcast? They talk about it. Hey,
Preach.
so let's keep it local and tie in. I think you guys have the next 3 bullets. We're talking coaches. I think the biggest move is Washington Huskies, the Fuskies. Lost a coach, hired a coach. Nick Saban just started some musical chairs going on. I can say, based on just being in the Seattle area, they were happy to be here for the Natty run, and it was more like, thank you, good luck in your future endeavors, than it was, screw you, you just brought us here and left us. Which, like, there's that national narrative. Is it, where's the loyalty versus thank you for your services? Kind of that Chip Kelly thing with Oregon. And I just think the dude's fucked to follow in Nick Saban's footsteps. Well, holler at me, guys.
When we talked about it a few weeks ago, I think that was my point too. Like, you're going to pay somebody a lot of money to try and succeed Nick Saban, and that just seems like a lose-lose proposition for everyone. Now, he could shock the world. They say he's a great recruiter, and that's really what they need to keep that train going, because Alabama, Tuscaloosa, I don't even understand how that ever became a destination for winning football. Like, how did that happen?
Saban.
Right. And I'm saying, in like historically, like Bear Bryant and all that.
And he did he did a stint at LSU before that and won a chip or went to the chip.
So I'm saying the Alabama prestige begins with Bear Bryant, yes, back in the day. But it really begins the modern era with Nick Saban and ends with Nick Saban. There's going to be expectations that I just think are unrealistic. Why is Alabama some power in college football? It doesn't even make sense. So without that personality, without that coaching, it's going to be tough for DeBoer to carry that torch. I think it's almost impossible task.
Yeah, I think it's tough. Good on him, because Kalen DeBoer's career says started from the bottom. Now we're here. All right. Look at where he started from. OC, Idaho, Division II quarterbacks coach, Indiana. You go to Washington, who was in disarray after Chris Peterson and the previous coach got fired. And you go there and you have 2 great seasons. And now you're about to go to Alabama, where everybody's transferring. Your All-American safety's transferring. I think I saw Big Al, the mascot, in the transfer portal. If you want me to be, I thought Big Al was like, I need some bread. You know what I'm saying? Or fake dead. So we'll see what they do, But Nick Saban, roll Tide, man.
Well, hey,
job well done,
Can
Coach.
I add a little personal note to this? So my nephew, Devin Brooks, who just committed to Oregon recently to go play football next year. His final 2 schools were Washington and Oregon. And he was really on the fence about which school he wanted to sign with. And oh my God, how happy we are that he signed with Oregon and still has his coach there, because that would have been a real disappointment for him, because DeBoer was really the reason why he was even thinking about going to Washington again, because that recruitment piece. He's a really strong recruiter, and my nephew really liked him and the staff. But we're so glad he chose Oregon, and that Atlanta's going to be there for at least a couple more years, I'd say.
I thought he went to Oregon State.
No.
Did he commit there early?
No.
Always Oregon, baby.
Oh,
I'm mixing up nephews.
Yeah, my other nephew had a chance to play at Oregon State, but he ended up going to smaller college. But yeah, so go Ducks. All right, it's the first time starting next year. Y'all gonna see me wearing Duck gear.
Let me get those tickets, June. Let me get those free tickets. I remember we used to sneak those tall boys in.
I got 4.
What was that game
for next year?
Hey, Junior. What was that game we went to where you made a shirt? Because it was not Appalachian State, but it was some bullshit ass school like that Oregon played as a tune-up.
It was Missouri State.
What was that?
Missouri State.
Missouri State, bro. And we snuck in some tall boys. I think I got kicked out, or Junior got kicked out. for trying to sneak in beers. What? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I got kicked out. Yeah, that was me. That was on me, bro.
That's funny, bro, because I'm always the one getting kicked out of things. Also, my connection keeps getting messed up, so I missed entirely everything you said except for the part that you got.
Yeah, no, it's bad connection, man. We got to just push through it.
Hey, we pushing through it,
You just
bro.
gotta
Let's
nod
go.
the head.
Nod the head and smile and hey, let's stay with college. Let's transition sports finally. The Fab Five, I didn't realize they had not been together in 30 years.
Bro, they had beef though.
And they were at the Ohio State Michigan
Did they
game.
have beef?
I mean, that's some diva Kardashian.
It's a two-part
stuff.
situation. You know, it's always two-part because, I mean, I think one of the best 30 for 30s, Chris, is the Fab Five. And who was the only player not on there? And that was C-Web. And remember,
C-Web's
they got the show, they got the show cause with everything. They took down the banners. And the cool part about everything is that Chris wasn't even enrolled at the school when he got the money. Because he had already, all right, season's over, I'm going to the NBA. And I think that, give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. You know what I'm saying? Let John Calipari and Memphis have their banners up. You know what I'm saying? With D Rose, having somebody take the SAT scores for him. But, man, I mean, those five guys right there shaped our life.
It did. I cannot tell you how many times.
Hey, baggy shorts and black socks, man. That's what we wore in the 90s.
Baggy shorts. And I remember my dad just loved the Fab Five.
Hey, so I want to stay on hoops. Let's talk a little NBA. I have a new segment I'd like to introduce to you guys in real time. And no, it's not the Chris was wrong segment. It's another one I thought of just a minute ago. But let's hit what Gitano had want to talk about. So right now I think in the not playing, maybe not even be in the play-in, be in the lottery portion of the Eastern Conference standings are the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls. Atlanta, they have tried everything, getting different players, getting different GMs, different coaches around Trae Young. Chicago has perpetually, put stock in the fact that Lonzo Ball might actually get off, the trainer's table and play. It ain't happening. Zach LaVine's catching the injury-prone bug. Is it time for these two teams in particular to just call it fire sale, trade your assets, restart, ship your best players if that's what it means, trade contracts?
Well, we can run the tape back from this very podcast. And I am on here maybe a month or two ago talking about the Chicago Bulls, Billy Donovan being on the hot seat, and whether or not it was time to just blow it up. I think my question was answered over these last couple weeks, months of the season. The Bulls are going nowhere fast. Get DeMar DeRozan out to the Lakers where he can actually help a team win some games, and let's just stop this experiment. Lonzo, I'm sorry that this is the way it's gone for you, but your body has failed you, and it is very unfortunate. You're not going to be able to come back and be a productive player in the league from what it looks like right now.
There's only one Ball brother left that actually lasted, and it was the 16-year-old shooting off-court shots.
And I don't think that the Hawks, they just made a series. I mean, you really hit it on the head, Chris. They made a series of bad personnel and GM decisions that just landed them into this hole that they're in. The number one thing they did was overvalue Trae Young's ability to win games. He's just not. I mean, he's one of those dudes, and we talked about it kind of pregame a little bit. We talk about hollow stats. He'll put up 25, 30, and 10. It just doesn't ever seem to mean anything for them to win games. And that DeJounte Murray, I mean, I like DJ, obviously Spurs fan, big fan of DJ.
Yeah.
I never understood.
Pac-12 player.
I never understood that trade at all. That just seemed like a terrible fit. And now they're paying for it.
He needs the ball in his hands.
He needs the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
He has to. And I feel like most people could have saw that coming. That not working in Atlanta. But JD, what do you think on these two teams that are in a transition right now?
What's old boy's name on MSNB? Sell.
Jim Cramer.
Yeah, we're selling. That's it. Just
Both
everything
teams.
must go. Both teams. What? Here's the part. The next couple years, I mean, I guess you might be tanking for Cooper Flag, but that's not for 2 more years. So,
Bro, and who says Cooper Flag's gonna be an NBA stud anyway?
We'll see about that.
Exactly. So I don't like. There's not a LeBron on the horizon. There's not a Wemby. I guess there's not a Zion because everybody wanted Zion when he was in high school. So I really don't think you're not gonna be able to do it through the draft. I think you're just gonna have to figure out. Here's the other. All right, real quick. Who wants Trae Young?
So, question back at you, JD, because there are rumors circulating that either Trae Young or Murray could get traded to the Spurs. So it would be a reunion
to the Lakers. Oh, to the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean the Lakers are in they're speculated for every trade because they just make so many trades.
That's true.
But Trae Young with Wemby, that could work because Wemby could make up for some of those defensive inefficiencies that Trae has. And the one thing Trae will do is he'll pass the ball. If he's got,
and he'll throw that long.
Throw that.
He makes Clint Capella look. I mean, he is to Clint Capella what Chris Paul was to Tyson Chandler. He makes these tall, skinny, lanky muff look good. And imagine that being an actual good player.
If there's one team he could succeed on, I do believe it could be the Spurs and Wemby and having.
Do you trade everything? You trade Keldon, you trade everything, right?
They have so much draft capital too. So really, if I'm the Hawks, I'm trying to get that draft capital back because unlikely the Spurs are going to be competitive at least in the next year or two. So you're going to get a couple good picks.
The Spurs ain't giving them a first though. Right now. Okay, here's
for
the
Trae,
real quick.
You just said there's no one in the draft.
You have to give him for Trae. You have to give up first.
I know, but I'm saying that the Spurs pick is going to be a top 5 pick. So I don't think the Spurs are going to do that. Right?
That's okay, what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
They're just going to hold tight and figure this out like Oklahoma City. You know what I'm saying?
Oklahoma didn't hold tight. They made moves in the shadows.
No. Okay, but they still lost and got Chet, and the Williams square,
they made more transactions than any team in the NBA for 4 years, bro. And I don't even think it was close.
Okay, but why, Junior? Who's running the system there?
Yeah, I know. It's dude that stacks up draft picks.
Okay, but where did he come from?
Same spot. Yeah, that's what he does.
Okay, so that's why San Antonio is going to stay packed. But my question is this. And this is a little trivia. Did they get lucky when they beat Philly and Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid in the second round and actually gave Giannis 6 good games in the Eastern Conference Finals? Did they just catch lightning in a bottle for that playoff run? Because that's a real, because you're basing
who's their coach? Did they have Button? Who's their coach back then?
But remember, McMillan.
Hey, Sarge is a different coach, bro. Sarge gets dudes to play
for a few years, and then he wears out his welcome with his style of basketball.
Exactly. Exactly. It happened in Portland, Atlanta, Indiana. He will turn them into military personnel. That makes you play well in the playoffs.
Whoever the coach was got fired, and then he took over, and they went on this run. And the reason I ask you this is that.
Oh, it was Woodson, I think.
Okay, but my question is, Trae is gone just as far as Dame has in the playoffs. Actually, he even won more games in the Eastern Conference Finals than Dame has because Dame got swept. So does that make him better if he's led his team there? 4-0 is not a gentleman's sweep. They got swept.
They got one.
Nah, they didn't get one against.
They had a good first half that first game though. CJ had 30 in the first half. Though. Basically a win.
I don't believe Trae's ever been All NBA. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a big difference between Dame and Trae.
He has. He's been third team.
Yeah, that's a courtesy. That's here you play. You're a good player.
My question really is, who's buying Trae That's all. Because I'm
The Spurs. I'm with Junior on this. Junior got me. I could not see another team. Okay, you know what is fascinating? No one talks about. You know who the Atlanta Hawks drafted? Luka Doncic, and they traded him for Trae Young 5 minutes later. No one talks about that. They fucked that up, and they were cursed.
No, Phoenix fucked that up.
I'm just saying, bro, we're talking about Atlanta, and I'm saying they had Luka Doncic, and they said, no, we want Trae Young instead.
But both organizations have peaked at the same level during that draft, so therefore you have to count that trade as even. Even though Dallas has the better player.
Exactly.
You're talking about playoff success.
No, bro.
That's what Chitano, this is down to.
Who would you rather have, Trae Young or Luka Doncic? Answer the question, man. I'm just saying they had a better player and they traded him. We can't predict what would have happened if they would have had this player and how many playoff wins they would have had. I'm just saying they had a better player and they traded him. We're talking about mismanagement and fire sales. They fucked up. Time to reset. That's all I'm saying.
But then Chitano, I'm gonna ask you a question directly. You're telling me Trae Young doesn't make the Lakers a better team?
They need shooters.
I think and that's true. That's two things he does. He gives the ball up and he can shoot. However, is he a sit in the corner when LeBron passes it to you?
We don't know.
Make it.
We don't know.
He will be. He will be. He can't. If you can take over a game and hit a 50-footer at Madison Square Garden, in a pressure situation, you can sit in the corner and hit a three when the king says stand there. And
LeBron, whether he wants to admit it or not, he needs someone that can take some load off of him handling the basketball so much. Like the days of him playing point guard for 36 minutes should be over. That is taxing on him. And
I don't think he's going to have anything in the tank at the end of the year, bro. He is having.
But who are the Lakers giving up? They're giving up.
They'll figure something out, bro. How did the Dodgers get homeboy? Like it's LA. They figure stuff out.
Rob Lowe gonna figure out those trades, man. Okay, he's gonna figure out those trades. He's been doing it.
Literally,
he gonna figure it out.
Hey, to run it full circle, Rob Pelinka went to what university and played basketball with who? The Fab Five.
Hey. All right, so let's, do you want to talk teams overall on the trade deadline? I think I want to get into this new segment real quick to see what you guys think.
Let's go. Let's play some checkers.
All right. So there's this game called Hoop Grid that has nothing to do with checkers. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. Real-time Riverside podcast feature here. All right, so
woo, look at this.
Do you see it?
This is
Can
nice,
you see it?
Chris. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you see
the top corner. We got Wizards, Bulls. Played in the 90s. All right, let's go.
So let's start this first corner. So name a player that has played for the Wizards and the Blazers. And
Rod Strickland.
The key. But hold on, here's the key to getting a good score is it has to be rare, and it's based on other people's votes. So if a bunch of people said Rod Strickland, it would be bad.
Harvey Grant.
Harvey Grant's a real good one. So let's go Harvey Grant. Harvey Grant. Boom, 1.3. So if they have that gold background or a silver or like a different color, it's good. When there's just a plain white background. All right. Bulls, Blazers.
Oh, man, there's some obscure stuff there too.
Bulls, Blazers. I know both Paxson brothers, but they ain't the same person.
Did Hodges still play for the Blazers for a couple seasons?
I don't think so. Who?
Damn,
I had this one recently. Okay, keep it in the back burner. All right. A Blazers NBA All-Star that is no one ever talks about. So I'm thinking right now Terry Porter, Duck was an All-Star 1 year.
It's got to be Cliff, right?
You can also change your shit. 1.6. Let's see what Terry Porter would have been. Terry Porter. So that's 1.65. Yeah, Terry Porter was more popular. I think Duckworth was an All-Star.
Duckworth was an All-Star.
But Cliff Robinson is a more rare pick. All right. Wizards and Pistons.
Man, how am I supposed to know Eastern Conference basketball like this, man?
I know, right?
Rip Hamilton.
Chris Webber.
Rip Hamilton.
Hamilton? He played for oh yeah, he did.
He got drafted.
That's a 4.6. Let me check
That's
Webber.
one we might just have to take, you know what I'm saying?
4.6. Oh no, Chris Webber's a better he's 2.5.
Okay.
Because these are mostly Gen Z or whatever, Alpha.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know about these older kids, these older players. Pistons and Bulls.
John Sally.
Oh, yeah. You mean the dude from Bad Boys 1, 2, and 3? Oh, he's at 5%. We're still gold backgrounds, though. We're all gold.
Hey,
all right.
Yep.
Detroit NBA All-Star. I'm going to see this because this player was an All-Star, but not at the time he played for that team.
Prince, man.
Oh, it worked. Ooh, Rashid's a 4.1. Tayshaun? He wasn't an
All-Star, didn't he?
Nah.
He never got it.
Rashid's gold. Let's stay with Rashid.
Never got a single All-Star on those teams? Dang.
No, because you got to think the 4 was Chauncey, Rip, Wallace, and
So
Wallace.
is Ben Wallace more obscure than Rashid then?
But he wasn't up. Was Ben Wallace an All-Star?
He got
Who, George
He
Mearson?
was an All-Star. Ben Wallace was an All-Star.
Oh, no. Yeah. Rashid is more obscure.
That's
a silver.
hilarious, man. How is Rashid more
I know,
obscure
right?
than Ben? That
Bulls player. Who'd you say? Craig Hodges? Let's throw him in there. See what's good.
No, he was not an All-Star.
No. This is just Bulls player in the 90s. I jumped ahead. Oh, 1.46.
Hey, you had the first name though, Chris.
let's-
So I'm gonna give you. You know, we split that one because I didn't have. I forgot his first name.
So obscure Bulls player in the 90s, huh?
Well, Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges is one. I don't think you're going to beat Craig Hodges. Maybe Stacey King.
Bill
No
Cartwright,
way.
Stacey King.
Starter. Maybe Stacey King.
You could.
Bill Winnington.
Oh, Stacey King got it. Oh, Bill Winnington.
I bet Bill's gonna be higher.
Stacey
I bet
King,
Bill's
so-
gonna be higher.
Oh, Bill's higher. Yeah, Stacey King.
Yeah.
All right. They got a Stacey Arsenault. Is he related to Harold the Show Arsenault?
Almost.
So,
dunked
all
on
right.
me.
So we need. What was the one who played for the Bulls and Blazers? There's somebody
Bulls and
who
Blazers,
played for
and then
both.
one other square is an NBA All-Star from the 90s, super obscure. So maybe they made it 1 year and no one would think of them as an All-Star.
Cedric Sabalas.
He made it?
In the 90s.
He was in the dunk
He
contest.
didn't play, but he got hurt.
No, he didn't.
Cedric Sabalas made the All-Star team. Google it.
It's
I
not
know
in
that.
here. He just did.
Okay, I know he made an All-Star team. You can check your Google. I know he did because he didn't play because he got hurt. Def
Did
Left
Michael
Shrimp.
Redd play in the 90s? Did he make his All-Star in the 90s? Or that's
I think it was like 04, Scooney Penn. Yeah, he didn't make the All-Star. Oh, no. All-Star career continued from there, but wasn't able to play in the All-Star game due to injury. So maybe they're just
so
going.
you didn't play in the game, and you weren't making the cut here.
But I'm saying he made it though. He still
I hear you, Gitano. I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying.
We're not arguing
in
with
the
you.
Grid, they're not counting it, man.
That's a very Def Left Shrimp.
All right.
Hey, Sean Elliott from the Spurs too.
1.13. Let's see, Sean Elliott. Oh, we got a unicorn. We got a 0.39, a sub 1.
He only made it. He only made it because it was in San Antonio and it was with David Robinson. So it was the year that he was in. Yeah.
Oh, 95. Hey, that's the year Jordan wore the white pat
so that's the only reason why. I mean, even Sean Elliott talks about on the broadcast how it's like, come on, he knows he didn't really,
Oh, you listen to the Spurs telecast.
Hey, shout out to Sean Elliott.
Right.
Shout out to Sean Elliott on the Spurs podcast or on the broadcast because you know what? I listen to a lot of other teams' broadcasts, and they are terrible. And the amount of homerism that happens on those broadcasts is laughable. Hey, at least Sean Elliott keeps it real. Okay, he'll give other teams major props.
Is Antonio Daniels on that
You're a
list still?
homer, though. You're a homer about your homer opinion, non-homer
All
opinion.
Right. Listen to one Spurs game on the broadcast and tell me I'm wrong. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I will. I got you on lead pass. All right, last one.
I can't
Bulls
think
Blazers.
right now.
Should we go to? There's a hint mode. Should we hit hint mode?
Yes, hit it one time. I'm kind of I can't think.
This is gonna be
now.
easy though. James Johnson, Norman Powell, Scottie Pippen is the one from this. Like, but come on, that's like that's easy.
Oh yeah.
But we don't want to do Pippen. I feel like Otis Thorpe or some shit.
It's got to be. I mean,
Otis Thorpe.
Rodney Hood. Did he play for Chicago?
No, only one of those is right, and it's Pippen.
It's Pippen. So
Just
it's only
Pippen.
one player.
Let's do Pippen.
I mean, it might be obscure enough
we'll come back
because,
again.
like, you know, people don't really associate Scotty with.
Oh, 26%.
Yeah.
Oh, that killed our score. That's your score right there. Is like this thing right here, the rarity score. It adds all of your percentages, and so Scottie Pippen alone was more than all these guys combined. But hey, that was fun, man. Good segment. Segment.
Appreciate it.
And hey, the original, and also that you go to just hoopgrids.com. Every day there's a different one. It's a daily thing, like Wordle or whatever.
Okay. We got to do that every show. Then we got to pull that.
And it's historical
like
too.
that.
You can go back once you get to days. You're like, I still want to go. I'm hot. You can go back to yesterday and go all the way back. KJ showed me that. I was like, oh, let's go. And the segment I wanted to do, or I reluctantly volunteered to do, was a little update on my Scoot Henderson sucks take. And the clip doesn't exist on YouTube, apparently, or I suck at YouTube, but it's not there. Otherwise, I would have shown it. He crossed over some dude on the Pacers, and the young man fell. And Scoot proceeded to attack the basket and make a layup. So he crossed the dude over, made him fall, and finished the bucket. A lot of times you see the crossover, someone falls, they shoot a jumper and they miss it, you know, but he knew he wasn't a good jump shooter, and he said, if I want to finish this highlight, I'm going to go to the hoop and I'm going to finish it. So, you know, he still sucks, but an update on him sucking is he made one good play.
Hey, look, he's making progress. To hell with what y'all talking about. I mean, dude just dropped 33 points.
He is at least, I will give you this, he is at least a top 15 rookie. I'll give you that.
Not saying much, but
maybe top 20. Top 20, reluctant top 15.
Okay. He's not playing like the number 3 pick.
And that's without Chet. I'm not even counting Chet.
He's not playing or living up to the number 3 pick yet. That's not a controversial statement to make.
He's not living up to Dame Lillard, replacing Dame, going young, Joe Crow.
Happen, man.
Anyway,
I think he needs to get some Apple Vision, Chris.
Yes, there's our segue transition. Jay, you want to talk a little tech? The Apple Vision Pro. I feel like JD is one of those motherfuckers going to get one of those before they even hit. You know, he's going to be the first one to have one. I don't know. I would definitely, if I had the means, I would get one. Oculus never grew on me, so that's a sell for me. It's not a buy. JD.
I'm going to sell because I still have never done any of the First Vision, stuff. But Apple, what if I do the podcast in that? Like, how does that look?
Bro, let's get a sponsorship with Apple and we'll all do our pod on.
I'm just
our 37 views per week, dog.
hey, respect on that. You know what I mean? We're climbing, okay? We're crawling.
Each one of them we care about deeply and
I'm going to
immensely.
sell two.
Okay, I have to admit to everyone listening to this podcast, I am a certified Apple hater. I don't own a single Apple product.
Oh yeah, we know that.
We
knew that,
am
bro.
Not a fan.
You gotta reveal that. Everyone knows that.
I am not a fan of the Apple ecosystem, so I have to state my bias here for when I say right now that I am absolutely buying this, y'all. Technology is fire, okay? Look, hey, technology is fire, and no, I'm not physically going to purchase one of these, but Apple moving the needle.
Theoretically, you're buying them.
Apple moving the needle closer to where I can be on the legit Star Trek holodeck. Like, that's what I'm talking about, like with VR. Like, I'm not putting a headset on. Until I can walk into a room and just be holograms all around me, like that's the VR I'm looking for, or augmented reality, whatever it is. And as long as they keep moving this technology forward inch by inch, I'm gonna get there in my lifetime, maybe. Like, we'll see.
Hey, question, Chris. You work in that space. You're really savvy in all this stuff we do. Have you watched the game or know what are the thoughts when people put on the goggles and watch an NBA game like they're courtside? What is the feeling about it?
It's a barrier to entry. It's a barrier to entry, and humans are conditioned to do things the easiest way possible. And when you add a layer of complication or complexity to something, it better be 100 times better, and it's not. It's cool. But after a while, it's like...
Yeah, you got to be able to put on a light set of just glasses that you would normally wear and have them be just futuristic, doing everything, right? Like, it's just... I can't wear that headset. I can't get into VR. I can't do the headsets. But, again, every single piece of technology that moves along the way, I got to support it because I want it to keep going. One day, we will get to where it's maybe a little implant in your eye, right? And we was out there, with augmented reality. I mean, that's
Let's go Minority Report. Where's TC at? Let's get some Minority Report going. Hey,
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah, let's advance, but let's not be crazy. Let's not be weird. Let's just advance, normal pace. Last thing on the list before we let you very valued, very beautiful listeners go. Gitano also made a note that Reddit has gone public. I don't think that them going public makes them a sellout like the way that Stumptown Coffee is a sellout. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're still a cool niche. But because it's just fucking web, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it's a tech company, it's different. But I think it's cool, I hope that brings some more functionality. I don't know. At one point, Reddit was like the second most visited website in the world. It's probably still up there above Facebook.
I'm glad you said that, Chris. Because my question is going to be, has Reddit peaked already?
Yeah, I think they have, dog. TikTok took the attention. They should have went public in 2019. When everyone was like, "Oh, you're not on Reddit." Like, "Oh, I read this on," I'm like subreddit this subreddit. Now it's all TikTok. So, little late, but who knows? I'm not an investor. That's my gut take.
I think Reddit is, even though I'm not a consumer of Reddit, I think it is an OG of the platforms. Just like I remember 04, 05 when Chris looked at me and said, "Oh, you got a Facebook now? You in college?" Because Facebook was just for college kids. And I went to Western. I'm down there at the homies. But I think Reddit is still a place where people go thinking it's the dark web.
Yeah.
People go there for the hot takes and to see, like when YouTube first started, people getting run over by trains and stuff like that back in the day.
Yeah, like, it's a little... It's I wouldn't say it's dark. It is a let's call it a dusk web. It's not dark, it's dusk. You know what I'm saying? It's where people are allowed to share radical opinions, but not salaciously like they do on Twitter, and not fucking Karenly, no offense to your wife's name, like they do on Facebook. Like not politically. It's more like it's just more in depth. There's a website called Quora that I got into a while ago. That's kind of like Reddit, but it's a more intellectual platform. There's no idiots there. I mean, there are, but it's based on upvotes, so the idiots don't get visibility.
That's the thing for Reddit too, though, right? That's the idea. It was like community moderated upvotes, giving out karma, and all that, and it was supposed to regulate itself. And I do agree, it has peaked. it did settle into its niche though, Gitano. I think you mentioned that it's got the people that are going to be there to support it. I don't think it's going to really grow. Again, we're not going to see another Reddit explosion, but I don't see it going away either.
Oh, so I think it will grow because people are going to get off of X and go somewhere else.
Maybe.
Because I believe that people are going to be so disappointed on what X brings, Twitter, and they'll go to a platform that they still feel is not oversaturated, because Reddit is the after dark, is the name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
the
what
one thing though.
for.
The one thing that I will say, and I will be the first to acknowledge when this is no longer the case, but real-time news and sports, there is no replicate for it. So Reddit has all the information, but nothing is real-time. If you want to go and see what people are doing in real-time in terms of news and sports and pop culture and opinion, nothing is replacing Twitter. And as anti-Semitic as Elon is going to be, it's getting a lot of corporations off the platform, but people are still going there for. And
Chris, I want to hone in on some, since we are a sports podcast first and foremost. I want to hone in on the sports there. Okay, I tried Threads, and I think Threads is obviously very similar to Reddit. Mm-hmm. But what Threads doesn't have is you cannot track real-time sports on there. Like, there is nothing like X/Twitter to track real-time sporting events. There's nothing even close. And that's nothing. The only reason I'm hanging on to Twitter for the most part is live events. It's unbeatable right now. And one day Threads could be that. It really could. But they didn't want to be that, right? That's not what Threads wanted to be. So, I'm with you, Gitano.
They came out of the gates. I think Threads launched a little too soon. I mean, they would probably admit it. They launched too soon. They were probably wasn't ready, but what they did was capitalize when Elon was in a very bad spot and everyone was leaving Twitter. It was like, oh, hop on Threads. But they didn't put any capital into it. There's no website you can go to. It's all mobile-based. You can't, linking out was hard. And I don't think they put any manpower into it since the launch.
Well, no,
so they have a user
some
base
updates.
there.
Some of those things they did. They launched the web base and thing, but like that took like months, right, to do. So like most people had already left after they checked in. Was like, oh, this ain't for me. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
So Gianno, I agree with you though that people are going to leave. People are going to leave X and they're going to go somewhere. I think Reddit's only picking up a small percentage of those people though.
Yeah, and all these platforms are great, and we talked about this before, Chris, where people come to this platform to get hindsight, because we talked about this with digital print media, with everybody getting an email. Was that Thursday saying that Sports Illustrated is done, and this is the end of everybody's era. Your grandma's era on getting the Sports Illustrated 52 copies, where you buy it when your team wins the championship. You get the subscription, you get the football, basketball.
You get the football phone, bro. Get the football phone, right?
And, this is where the change is coming on how people are getting their content. It's going to be on a Reddit where people talk about, hey, what do you believe in this sports content? Because now somebody, I don't know how this ever comes up, right? GQ still does a magazine. Vogue still does a magazine.
Because those are news. Those are trade magazines. It's a category. It's a trade magazine.
There has to be something where we get the Rick Rileys on writing content for a sports magazine that we would like. They just don't print. Here's the thing, I think. So sports has such a short shelf life. By the time it goes to print, unless it is a celebratory championship edition, people are on to the next. Attention spans are too short. Kids are reading shit on iPads in schools. I think it's just a natural progression. And photography went that way 10 years ago, 15 years ago with the iPhone. And
news reporters, everybody. It's just cameramen are out of jobs. People are just putting their phone on a tripod and doing live news hits that way. So I think it's just the natural progression of an industrial revolution.
Yeah,
honestly.
and Gitano, I'll tell you this. So I can sign up for a subscription to The Athletic and read hundreds of different.
That's what I was going to say.
Hundreds of different writers on all kind of different topics and genres. I've got more access than I ever did receiving a Sports Illustrated magazine. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that there is we didn't lose anything. We lost a piece of history, lost a piece of culture. But if you're talking about me as someone consuming content, it's inherently better.
And I agree,
you don't miss a beat. But you don't miss out on any news not getting it. You miss out on the nostalgia, but you don't miss out on the news.
I think we miss out on having something physical. And I think that is, I really believe it's different because here's the thing about being born in 1984, which all three of us, we were on the cusp of the technology, but we also had the older stuff, a typewriter. We didn't have computers. We had a projector. We had our teachers writing on the board, and we had
overhead projectors. Right? Like, woo!
Okay, so
get the whiteboard.
We had all those nostalgic things as kids. In grade school, we had film that set up to watch movies in our
literal film.
Okay, so we're old enough that we lived in that era, but we're also old enough to know we started this shit when it comes to this digital stuff. All right, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, all right, Reddit. All these platforms have been created since we've been adults. All right. Yeah. Twitter, what's the TikTok? All these platforms, Instagram, have all come out since we've been 21. So we have been there. And I think it's great, but it also really sucks. Like my daughter was talking about this. She loves to cook. And she was like, I'm really happy I got this cookbook because I can actually hold it and read it and see it. There's something about going to the post box, getting your Sports Illustrated on Thursday or Friday once a week and be like, all right, who's the student athletes of the week? There's something about that's more nostalgic than being like, all right, athletic, done. All right, already read it. All right, cool. What's next?
What's next is 1,000 more articles that you can read that pertain to your interest. That's what's next, man. And I get it.
And regional.
Like there's more access. There's more writers. Like I hear you, Gitano, and you and Christopher Nolan need to go on your campaign for physical media. I bet you're trying to keep DVDs and Blu-rays going too. But
He said Christopher Nolan.
Hey, you can catch me on a VHS tape before a DVD. I just think it's sad that Sports Illustrated is ending, and it is the America Cup of it's Time Magazine. Time Magazine is still going. You got Time and Sports Illustrated. Those are the two magazines you got, or you can throw in Vogue or whatever, but you got Time and Sports Illustrated.
I'm calling bluff on that because I was at the library a few months ago, and let me tell you, that magazine rack was still full. Okay, we got modern woodwork, we got modern woodworking, we got
That's true. It's more niche. It's more niche.
Hey, they out there, man.
He's not wrong.
They out there if you want to find them. Oprah still got her magazine cracking. All right.
Hey, Oprah gets it bag. Oprah's a bag giver. Shout out to the Queen. One last thing though, real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Were you guys, when ESPN came out with their magazine, were you ESPN or Sports Illustrated?
Yes, I was never Sports Illustrated.
They were bigger.
I was never SI.
ESPN was bigger, dog. It was like, this fills up my whole table.
I had a subscription to ESPN for the first 5 years, and I had magazines and my dad was like, hey, you need to do something with all these magazines. And I just thought the content, the covers, they weren't. See, Sports Illustrated got the action photos, right? In game.
So ESPN. Sports Illustrated was just the first to do it.
ESPN was cool. It was cooler, man. It was just cooler. It was that. It was directed at a younger audience.
Sports Illustrated got the action photos, and Sports Illustrated got the action photos, and ESPN did the photo shoots, the up next, those type of things. And I just thought ESPN was way better. I thought they were 100 times better. But that we're new school.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Hey, speaking of new school, man, I'm old school and I need to get to sleep. So let's call it right there. Let's let our listeners, our loyal 37 listeners, get to sleep as well. And cheers, man.
55, 60, man. Come on.
55, 60 something. Yeah, let's go. Man. All right, man. Hey, we'll talk again. We'll probably talk. Let's put it right now. Let's say after this weekend's games, we'll do a pre-Super Bowl show.
Hey, get it in.
Bet. Have a good one.
All right, my guys. Be good.
Hey, don't
Peace.
hang up.
What time?
Don't hang up, bro.